What's up, everyone? It's Will again from Brews and Breaks, and this week we're going to talk about Week 5 in the NFL. So grab your coffee, if it's early in the morning, like it is for me, or a beer if it's in the afternoon, or whatever tickles your fancy, and let's get into it. All right, so last night started Week 5 with a crazy game. Kirk Cousins goes off for 509 and 4 tutties. He is the first man in NFL history to throw for over 450 yards in a game for 3 different teams. There was absolutely no defense played. Mooney had an incredible touchdown catch. I mean, Mike Evans had 2 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield just showed out like he always does, just the gunslinger he is. He's like the next coming of Brett Favre, for God's sakes. What a way to start Week 5, right? But how are the rest of the games going to pan out? So I'm going to go through each game, give some quick hits, give my picks, my predictions. Some will include some scores, some won't. But stay to the end because I got a surprising one that you might not have been thinking of. So grab your beer and let's get into it. So first up, we got the Bengals-Ravens. Right now, the Ravens are they're favored by 2.5. Over-under's 49. The Ravens' run game cannot be stopped. Zay Flowers is an absolute beast. They have 2 tight ends that are all pro caliber, Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. And right now, the Bengals, while they're playing well at times, they cannot put it together consistently. And I also think the Ravens just have a better defense. I think the Ravens win by 7. The over-under is 49. I'm inclined to take the over, but historically it hasn't been that high. So I would probably lean towards the under in this one, but I think the Ravens take it. Next up, we have my good old Patriots against the middling Dolphins. All right, yeah. Well, the Patriots get destroyed in Miami. Just historically destroyed in Miami. Didn't matter if Brady was there. Didn't matter if Zolak was there. Didn't matter who was there. Crushed. This might be the first time the Patriots win one in Miami in some time. So, the Patriots are favored by 1 in Miami, which is really weird. The over-under is 36.5. I think that both O-lines are trash. Both quarterbacks are trash. I think that both teams' run games are good, but both teams' defenses are pretty decent against the pass. So I'm going to pick the Pats here by 3. I'm definitely taking the under. And I mean, this is going to be a wild game. 17-14 Patriots, and there'll be a defensive touchdown by the Patriots in that game. I just think I would love to see a Gonzo, pick 6. I don't know, but because he's going to be on Tyreek. I hope. But yeah, I'm calling a Patriots defensive touchdown in this one. I don't think it's going to be fun to watch. And it's going to be crap, but that's where I'm at. Now we get the Broncos-Raiders, and Bo Nix has been kind of cooking lately. Broncos have a sleepy good running team, and Gardner Minshew doesn't have Devontae Adams. So while Max Crosby is going to cause havoc in that backfield, Bo Nix has some wheels. I think the Broncos are going to pull this out. They're currently a 2.5-point favorite, under 35.5. Absolutely taking the under. 21-17 maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a defensive touchdown to this one also. Outside of Max Crosby chasing Bo Nix all over the place, I don't think this is going to be a very fun game to watch. I'm personally going to pass on it, and I'm a football fanatic. But I'm going to say Broncos win. Probably 21-17. They'll cover the spread and take the under. Now we get the Rams and Packers, and that's a really interesting game. Nakua's out, Cooper Kupp's banged up. I mean, Matthew Stafford's still a dog. Jordan Love is back, had a trash game last week through multiple interceptions. And right now it's a 3-point swing by the Packers, and they're at home, so essentially it's a pick'em game to me. The over-under is 49. I think there'll be some scoring in this one. I'm inclined to take the over because both teams are prone to really big plays. I'm going to say the Packers squeak this out. I'm going to say Jordan Love rights the ship, and I know that he's diminished on weapons right now, but I think it'll be a heavy run game as well. So I think Josh Jacobs is going to have a big game. I wouldn't be surprised if Robinson has a big game on the side of the Rams, maybe scores a 50-plus yard touchdown, just because we know they can do this, via Van Jefferson. But I think the Packers squeak this one out, taking the under, probably be about a 3-point swing. Seahawks-Giants, interesting game. Neighbors is going to go off. I think Neighbors is going to have over 100 yards and a touchdown. But that being said, I think the Seahawks are cooking on that offense. I think Njigba's going to have somewhere close to 10 catches. Metcalf's going to have a bomb touchdown. And I just think that Kenneth Walker is going to run all over the Giants defense. There's just too many weapons on their offense for the Giants to cover. Currently, the Giants are a 6.5-point dog. The over-under is 43.5. Not only do I think that the Seahawks are going to win by more than 7, I'm going to take the over on this one. I think the Seahawks are going to put up some monster points in New York, New Jersey, and they're going to absolutely demolish the Giants. The other trash game of the week, Steelers-Cowboys. I'm going to make it very simple. Cowboys get absolutely throttled. The Steelers are 2.5-point favorites. I think they win by 7. However, the under is very important here. I'm going to say somewhere around 17-10 in favor of the Steelers. All right, now we start getting into some of the juicy lineups here. Vikings-Jets. Sam Darnold returns home. Justin Jefferson versus Sauce Gardner. That crazy, crazy run defense in the Vikings against Breece Hall. I mean, this is going to be one for the ages, I think. Currently, the Vikings are favored in the Jets' house at 2.5 points, and the over-under is 40. I think it's going to be the under, but tight. And I think the Vikings squeak this out because I don't think Justin Jefferson can be stopped by Sauce Gardner, to be truthfully honest with you. They also have Jordan Addison. I just think it's going to be too much for the Jets defense, and the Vikings defense is going to be too much for Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers historically does pretty good against the Vikes, but not these Vikes. So I'm going to pick the Vikings over the Jets. I think it's going to be a touchdown. I think it's going to be a long touchdown, and there might even be a defensive touchdown here by either team, to be honest with you. But I'm going to say probably somewhere around 28-17 maybe. So you're going to be towing the line in that over-under, but I'm favoring the Vikings in this one. Now we get into some of the more meat and potatoes of the games here. So I think we're going to see Trevor Lawrence right the ship in these Jaguars-Colts games. Trevor Lawrence traditionally or historically has 1,200 yards in 9 touchdowns and 2 picks in 6 games. He absolutely throttles the Colts defense every time he goes in there and plays. Great QBR. They have just so many weapons, but they haven't been able to kind of put it together lately. I love the Joe Flacco story. Flacco's a dog. I just don't think they have enough horses right now. I don't think the Colts have enough horses. See what I did there? But do keep an eye out on Jonathan Taylor. In 6 games, he's had 541 yards on 91 carries, 3 touchdowns, but that's almost 6 yards a carry. It's 5.89 yards a carry, which is pretty significant. So you could look for, Flacco can still chuck it, so you could look for Jonathan Taylor to set up the play action to Pierce for long bombs. But if you are going to play your daily fantasy, I think maybe in an MVP game, putting Jonathan Taylor as your sleeper MVP probably isn't going to be a terrible idea. I do think he's going to score a touchdown. I just don't think that they're going to have enough to pull it out. So I think the Jags cover the spread. Spread's 2.5, and I'm going to say they're probably going to just toe the line on the over-under of 45.5. So I'd pick and the half is what's swaying me to the under. So Jags cover under. Bears-Panthers. 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 All right. Point blank. Panthers defense sucks. Bears defense is pretty good. Caleb Williams, not terrible, but their run game, meh. Panthers, Andy Dalton, upgrade. Good weapons, run game, meh. Bears favored by 4, over under 41. I think Odunze is going to catch a couple balls, some nice ones. I think the Panthers are so trash on pass defense that the Bears are going to have just a field day in the air. But that being said, I think Andy Dalton and Johnson are going to be able to put up some numbers as well. So I'd actually take the over on this one. The over is 41, but I'm still going to say the Bears win. They'll cover the spread. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say the Bears don't cover the spread. The spread's by 4. I say they win by 3 and they take the over. So Bears win by 3, do not cover the spread, but take the over. Only a couple games remaining. And the next one might be the most fun game of the week. Commies, Browns. Probably never heard those words put together in one sentence. Game of the week, Commanders, Browns. 70s? Maybe 60s? I picked Caleb Williams to be the rookie of the year. I put money on it because that wide receiving core is one of the best in football next to maybe the Texans. Jaden Daniels is a better thrower than Lamar Jackson with the same kind of wheels. Jaden Daniels is going to win Rookie of the Year, barring some crazy injury. Hands down. You're actually finally seeing Scary Terry live up to what he should be because he has an actual quarterback throwing to him. And while Robinson's going to be out, Eckler's back in, and Eckler has more receptions than any running back in the last 10 years. I think their RPO offense is going to be way too much for the Browns defense. And the Brown defense is really good, but they also don't have enough horses on offense to handle the Commanders. They're not going to be able to keep up. Commanders are going to control the clock. Commanders are going to run all over them. I'm going to say the Commanders are going to put up almost 200 yards rushing, or let's say 200 yards between Daniels and Eckler alone, whether it's passing or running. I think the Commanders are going to run away with this. They're a 3.5-point favorite. Over-under's 43.5. I'll take the under, but I think they're going to win by 10. It's going to be a large game, and Jaden Daniels is just going to have a field day. 3 games left. Where are we going? Texans, Bills. Diggs returns home. Bills, Josh Allen hasn't beaten the Texans since 2021. Right now, defense has Bills defense is good, 14th, middle, right in the middle basically, but 6th versus the pass, 30th versus the run. And then you got Diggs returning home to Buffalo. This game's going to be out of control, but it's going to really come down to what Houston's game plan is and how Mixon is. Right now, Mixon hasn't practiced this week. He's dealing with an ankle injury. But Cam Akers is no slouch. I think they're going to run a ton, and they're going to run all over Buffalo, setting up play-action passes. There'll be a bomb touchdown to Diggs. Almost guaranteed. I'm putting money on Diggs getting a tutty. And I think they're going to run for over 100 yards, maybe even 125. The Bills have Keon Coleman. Maybe he gets a touchdown. I mean, he can get some separation on that defense. But they also have Dalton Kincaid, so watch out for that. But the Texans' defense is no slouch out there. So looking at this one, it's a pick'em game in Buffalo. The over-under is 47.5. I'm taking the under just because I think the Texans are going to run the hell out of the ball. And then I'm going to take the Texans to win. So Josh Allen's going to drop 2 in a row. But, yeah, I think the Texans are going to win by a field goal, maybe even in overtime. But, yeah, Texans to cover, taking the under. 2 games left, and you won't guess which one I'm saving for last. Well, you're about to find out because only 2 games left. Niners, Cardinals. That's my next game. Purdy QBR versus the Cardinals is 150.8. He has 8 touchdowns in 4 games. 4 games against the Cardinals. 8 touchdowns, no picks. Kyler Murray, on the other hand, averages 219 yards and a touchdown versus 49ers. This is going to come down to McBride. If McBride plays, it's going to open that field up, and I don't think anyone can handle MHJ. I think MHJ is going to have a field day on the outside. Kyler Murray is going to run around. He's going to be getting chased by Fred Warner, but he's too fast. It's a 7.5-point spread for the 49ers in Arizona, and the over-under is 50. So I'm going to take the under, but I'm also going to take the Cardinals to win. I think this is a sneaky game with a team. James Conner's kind of popping off. The rookie quarterback whose name I can't think running back whose name I can't think of. I think this is a very sneaky play and a very easy way to put very low money down on the Cardinals to just not cover the spread, to win and the under. And I think it's going to be an interesting game. That's where I'm going. Don't get me wrong. I love the 49ers. I just think that the Cardinals are playing a different style of football right now. But now we lead into the final pick. Dun, 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 dun. Chiefs in New Orleans. Derek Carr is 3-14 versus the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is not throwing or playing against the Saints defense. I am hands down picking the Saints to win, not just cover the spread. The Chiefs are favored by 5.5 with an over-under of 43. I also think I'm picking the over on this one. Chris Olave, Shaheed, these guys, Alvin Kamara, the Saints are an absolute dog of a team. Their defense is crazy, and the Chiefs haven't really played a team like that this season, and the Chiefs kind of suck this year. The refs have saved 2 of their games, let's be perfectly honest with you. Bullshit PI calls, bullshit roughing the passer calls. Listen, I'm a Pats fan. I know how everyone thinks about Brady. Brady paved the way for guys like Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the new Brady, and he's getting the calls. Just the way it is, hands down, facts. They also don't have Pacheco. Kelsey is playing. He is a shadow of himself. I do not know what's going on with him. I truthfully don't think, and Rashee Rice is out. I do not think the Chiefs stand a chance in this game. I'm picking the Saints to win. 5.5 point spread, I'm going to say by 7 and taking the over. So call me out. Derek Carr is going to get his 4th win against the Chiefs, and the Saints are going to roll. Now, I am by no means an expert in football, but I have been following football and playing fantasy, and I just dive into football, and I have been doing it since I was probably 6. These are my gut feelings. By no means am I saying you should definitely put money on these games. I'm saying this is the way that I'm leaning. So that's my disclaimer. But that being said, I would love to hear your comments. So definitely like, subscribe, follow, share. Let's get the comments going. I want to see what your picks are. What's your pick of the week? Give me your pick of the week and your sleeper of the week. So like your definite win and your sleeper pick. I want to hear what you're saying. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Also, give me a follow on Whatnot, Brews and Breaks. I'm on Instagram at Brews and Breaks, and give us a follow. You get to see all the polls when we do box breaks. I'm going to have singles coming out soon, and we're just going to talk a lot of shop about cards, football, and basketball because that's starting soon too. But absolutely give me a like, give me a share, give me a follow, and let's chat. But until next time, keep sipping and ripping.